So in this practical, we understand the simulation of two-stage AC voltage controller and multi-stage sequence AC voltage controller. So as we have studied in the already in the theory that two-stage sequence control of voltage controller for R load and RL load. So as you can see this diagram of two-stage sequence control of voltage controller for R load. Here we have two stages. First stage has T1, T2 thyristor. Second stage has T3 and T4 thyristor. And we take the 1:1 transformation ratio between primary and each secondary. Now we can see the waveform of output voltage and load current for the R load condition. So as we already discussed in the theory, voltage of this winding come reversely across the thyristor T3. So that will turn off the thyristor number T3 and whole secondary winding voltage. It means this secondary winding voltage directly come across the load side. So you can see the voltage after alpha degree when T1 is turned on and T3 will turn off. The output voltage jump to this 2 Vm sin omega t up to this pi angle. Clear? And at pi angle, what will happen? The supply voltage becomes 0. So your output voltage also becomes 0 because T1 will off. Now after this pi, again at alpha 0, you turn on this thyristor T4 because it will come into forward bias. So this secondary winding voltage come across the load side. So that follow the Vm sin omega t. But it is minus, so it is minus Vm sin omega t. This one. So in this time, your T4 will non-condition. At pi plus alpha, when you fire this T2 thyristor, what will happen? This winding voltage come reversely across T4. So that will turn off the thyristor T4 and whole secondary winding voltage come across the load side. So you can see that at pi plus alpha, when you turn on this T2 thyristor, T4 will turn off. So output voltage is jump from Vm sin omega t to 2 Vm sin omega t up to this angle 2 pi. Again the sequence is repeated at 2 pi angle. Again you fire the thyristor T3. So that follow the Vm sin omega t. And then after at 2 pi plus alpha, when you fire the T1, T3 will turn off and that follow the 2 Vm sin omega t. So you can see the waveform of load current also, that is also in same wave shape as output voltage because here we take the resistive load. So voltage and current are in same phase. So as you can see that the wave shape of load current I0 is also same as the wave shape of V0. Just change in the magnitude that depends upon the value of the resistance. So same theory that we have already implemented, this theoretical concept we implemented here in the simulation. So as you can see here, these are two stage T1, T2, then stage 2 T3, T4 thyristor. So first we turn on this T3 for alpha 0. So in the pulse generator of T3, you can see that the amplitude is 1, period is 20 millisecond because we require the 50 Hz, and I provide the pulse width of 10 degree with phase delay 0. So the gate pulse applied to this thyristor number T3 from 0 to 10 degree. Then after pulse width, amplitude, period as it is, just change the phase delay for thyristor T4 because thyristor T4 turn on at angle pi. So I provide the phase delay of 10 millisecond. It means half time of the total period. Clear? Now after that, you can see that T1 is turned on in the positive cycle at particular alpha. Here I take the alpha 30 degree. So amplitude, period, pulse width as it is. Just change the value of phase delay. It means firing angle delay alpha. So here I take the firing angle delay 30 degree. Clear? For T1. Same way for the thyristor T2. It will turn on in negative cycle at angle alpha. So it is 180 plus alpha. It means at 210. 180 plus 30 degree, so 210 degree, your thyristor T2 will turn on. The remaining parameter like amplitude, period and pulse width as it is for all the pulse generator only just change the value of phase delay. So this is the value we chosen for T1, T2 and T3, T4. Now you can see that in the simulation we have provided the supply 50 hertz 230 voltage peak. Here we take the linear transformer. This linear transformer you can get in from the Simscape here from the library browser. So here we set the frequency 50 hertz, inbuilt 60 hertz frequency is given when you take this block from the MATLAB. So set first this frequency is 50 hertz. Then we take the transformer as the ideal transformer. So here we put the value of all the resistance and inductance of all the three windings 0, and magnetizing resistance and inductance we put the 0 value, because we assume that this transformer is ideal. So whatever power transmitted from primary to secondary both are same. Clear? And that will not introduce any harmonics. And we can see that supply voltage is 315 kV here primary side, and secondary and third winding also same voltage. It means it is a 1:1 transformation ratio. So whatever voltage here is the input side, same voltage transferred to the each secondary winding. Clear? Here first secondary winding name as sec2 and second secondary winding is number as 3. Clear? And primary winding is number as 1. So now keeping in mind that here you set first frequency is 50 hertz, value of inductor and value of inductor and resistance for all the three winding put 0. This is a winding 1 parameter, it means primary winding parameter. Winding 2 parameter, it means this secondary winding parameter. And winding 3 parameters, it means this third winding parameter. So here we assume it is ideal, so put value of resistance and inductance 0, and then magnetizing resistance and inductance is also 0. Now here we take the R load first, then after we see the for RL load. So for R load we set the value of resistance 10 ohm. Now let's run this simulation and observe the waveform of output voltage. You can see here in the first scope I measure the supply voltage, this one, which is a 230 volt with peak value, and this is the output voltage we measure across the load side. So let's run this simulation and observe the output voltage. So now you can see the waveform of output voltage across the load side. From 0 to alpha, your thyristor T3 will turn on, so that follow the Vm sin omega t. But at alpha 30 degree, you can see in the pulse generator at alpha 30 degree you fire this T1 thyristor. Clear? So at alpha 30 degree when you fire this T1, the output voltage follow the 2 Vm sin omega t. So you can see that from alpha your output voltage jump from Vm sin omega t to 2 Vm sin omega t, and that is remaining up to this angle 2 pi, at angle pi or 10 millisecond. Now at the angle pi, as you know that you fire this T4. You can see in the pulse generator with phase delay 0, you fire this thyristor T4. So you can see that output voltage that follow the Vm sin omega t. It is a negative supply, so it follow the minus Vm sin omega t. And at 2 pi plus alpha, when you fire this T2, that follow the minus 2 Vm sin omega t up to the angle 2 pi or 20 millisecond. The same sequence is repeated for the next cycle. So the same waveform as we have seen in the theory, you can see here. You can see the theoretical waveform. This is the output voltage and this is a practical waveform. Both are same. So this is a two-stage sequence AC voltage controller for R load condition. Now let's check for RL load condition. Just change the value of R to RL and set the inductor as 0.01 Henry. It means 10 millihenry. So for this case, let's observe the waveform of output voltage. So first save the simulation, because here we change the R to RL load, and then after run this simulation. So now here you can observe the waveform for RL load condition. Now from 0 to alpha, it is as it is. You can see here your T3 thyristor will on, so output voltage follow the Vm sin omega t. And at alpha, when you fire the T1, that follow the 2 Vm sin omega t. Clear? But now you can see that after this 2 pi angle, after this alpha angle, that follow the output voltage 2 Vm sin omega t. And after this pi, also your thyristor T1 will remain in on condition because of the presence of inductor. Clear? So because of presence of inductor, as you know that what will happen after the angle pi, your thyristor T1 will continuously remain in conduction in this direction, same direction. And once the energy stored in the inductor becomes 0, your output voltage follow the 0 degree. Clear? So here your output voltage becomes 0, and after that it follow the 2 Vm sin omega t. But here your thyristor T4 will not turn on because here you provide the very small width of gate pulse. So here change the width of gate pulse from 10 degree to 20 degree for both the thyristor T3 and T4, so that they get the sufficient gate pulse and that will turn on in the positive as well as negative cycle. So let's again run this simulation and observe the waveform. Now you can check this waveform here. Now if you clearly see this waveform from 0 to alpha, when T1 is conducting, follow the Vm sin omega t, and at alpha when you fire T1, that follow the 2 Vm sin omega t. After this pi, still your T1 is remain conducting, so that follow the 2 Vm sin omega t. And once the energy is released by this inductor, what will happen? Your thyristor T1 becomes off. But at angle pi, you already turn on the T4, so that will fire here at this angle when your energy released by this inductor, and your T1 will turn off. So at this angle, pi plus phi angle, your T4 will start turn on. So as you know that when T4 will start turn on, what will happen? That gives the only this winding voltage. It means Vm sin omega t across the load side. So you can see that output side you get the Vm sin omega t here. And at pi plus alpha, when you fire this T2, what will happen? Your this winding voltage come reversely across T4, so T4 will turn off, and whole secondary winding voltage come across the load side. It means 2 Vm sin omega t. So that follow the 2 Vm sin omega t up to the angle 2 pi. You can see that up to this 2 pi or 20 millisecond, that follow the 2 Vm sin omega t. And next cycle, again you can see that your thyristor T2 will remain on because of the presence of inductor. The energy is stored in this cycle, that is released after that 2 pi angle. So still your thyristor T2 is conducting, and supply voltage becomes now positive. So that follow this 2 Vm sin omega t up to the angle 2 pi plus phi. Clear? So at 2 pi plus phi, when your load current becomes 0 or inductor energy is released, then your thyristor T2 will become off. And now we already fired the thyristor T3 at angle 0 degree, alpha 0 degree, it means at 20 millisecond, so that it will start turn on at this angle because already your T2 thyristor is on. So what will happen? This winding voltage reversely across T3, so it will not able to turn on this T3. Clear? So that because of this T2 is conducting in this period, your T3 is remain off even if you apply the gate pulse. But once the T2 is off at this 2 pi plus phi angle, you apply the continuously gate pulse to T3, so it will turn on here, and that follow the Vm sin omega t. But at the starting of the cycle, you not get this because this is a initial condition. So initial condition previous to this cycle, there is no energy stored in the inductor. So from starting of the cycle, at omega t is equal to 0, only T3 will turn on. But in the steady state condition, it means in the next cycle, you can see that first this T2 is conducting, and then after this T3 is conducting, and at alpha your T1 will conducting and follow the 2 Vm sin. So that is the difference between R load and RL load condition. Clear? So that we already studied in the theory, that you can see the waveform of RL load, theoretical waveform. There is a waveform of steady state condition. So you can see that starting your T2 is conducting. You can see the period of conduction. This is a period of conduction of T2. So that follow the 2 Vm sin omega t. Yes, steady state condition means we assume that in the previous cycle your circuit is already energized. So here there is a RL load. So in the previous circuit your inductor is energized. So that now is released through this T2. So now you get the output voltage 2 Vm sin omega t in this period. And at this angle, at phi angle, when all the energy release, T2 will off. Now you already provide the gate pulse to T3 at omega t is equal to 0. But it will start turn on at this angle and follow the Vm sin omega t. And at alpha degree, when you fire the T1, that follow the 2 Vm sin omega t. And your thyristor T3 will be turn off because of the reverse voltage of this winding. So T1 will remain continuous on up to this pi plus alpha because of the presence of inductor. And when release the energy by this inductor, the T1 will off at this angle, and at this time your thyristor T4 will turn on. So that follow the Vm sin omega t with negative value. And at pi plus alpha, when you fire this T2, that follow this 2 Vm sin omega t. And that will continue remain conducting up to the next cycle at 2 pi plus phi. So that we can also see in this simulation also. Same waveform we get by the simulation also. Yes, just we change the value of load, the other circuit is as it is for RL load condition. So this is all about the two-stage AC voltage controller for R load and RL load. Now we see the multi-stage sequence control of AC voltage controller. So in the multi-stage sequence control of AC voltage controller, as you can see here, we use the number of stages. We use the n number of stages. So what is the advantage of using the n number of stages or multiple stages? So by using a multiple stages, we can increase or decrease the voltage very smooth manner. So you can see that here the supply voltage provided to the primary, there is a one winding and there are n secondary winding. Each secondary winding has the ratio voltage rating is Vs by n. Suppose there is a 5 stages, so there are 5 secondary winding. So each secondary winding has a voltage rating of Vs by 5. Suppose there is a 500 volt supply voltage. So each secondary winding in 5 stages you get the 100 volt. So if you require the voltage variation between 0 to 500 in a smooth manner, so you can use the 5 stages with the each secondary winding of rating of 100 volt. It means Vs by 5. Yeah. So you can increase the voltage first 0 to 100, then 100 to 200, 200 to 300, 300 to 400 and 400 to 500. So that's why you can increase the voltage in a very smooth manner. So what is the advantage of increasing the voltage in a smooth manner in a sequence control? So that is advantage that we can reduce the harmonic by variation of the output voltage in a smooth manner. So if your voltage variation in the output side or magnitude of the output voltage variation is very large, in that case the harmonic content in the output voltage becomes large. So because of this reason we increase the output voltage in a very smooth manner so that at the output side we can decrease the harmonic content. So the advantage of multi-stage sequence control of voltage controller over the two-stage AC voltage controller is that the harmonic content in this output side is very less. Clear? So let's understand this principle by the simulation so you can get the clear idea about it. So here already I simulate this multi-stage sequence control of AC voltage controller, but here I take only 5 stages. You can take any number of stages. You can take 6 stages, 7 stages or 10 stages, whatever stages you require. Yeah. So here I uses the 5-stage AC voltage controller, same as supply voltage with 325 peak voltage 50 Hz. Again I take here the multi-winding transformer. So select the number of secondary winding. So here I select the 5 secondary winding because I have take the 5 stages. If you want 10 stages, so select the 10 number of stages or 10 number of secondary winding. Primary winding only one. So now in this multi winding transformer, again you choose the frequency. So inbuilt frequency is given 60 Hz. So here we select the frequency to 50 Hz. Now you can see that the nominal voltage rating of primary and each secondary winding. So U1 means that is the voltage rating of primary winding. U2, U3 and up to UN, that is the voltage rating of the all the secondary winding. So U1 is the voltage rating of primary winding. So here I take the 230 voltage, which is the RMS value, and voltage rating of first secondary winding, it means U2, that is 46. That is a 1/5 part of this 230 volt. So here I take the 5 stages. So I take the rating of each secondary winding, Vs by 5. Vs is 230. So 230 by 5, it is 46. Same way for the remaining 4 secondary winding, same voltage rating. So it is 46, 46, 46. So 5 times 46, it means all the 5 secondary winding voltage rating is 46. It means Vs by 5, and primary winding voltage rating is 230. Here again I select this is the ideal transformer, so set the value of winding resistance and leakage inductance of all this winding as 0 value. Okay. Now you can see the stage number 1, which is starting from here lower side. This is a first stage thyristor. This is T1 and T2. So first I want to increase the voltage to 0 to 46. Clear? Same way, by this second stage, I will increase the voltage from 46 to 2 times 46, 2 multiply 46. And then after that, by using this third stage, I can increase the voltage from 2 times 46 to 3 times 46. Clear? Or 3 multiple 46. Same way, this fourth stage again increase the voltage by 46 volt, and fifth stage increase the voltage again 46. So whole secondary winding voltage is 230 volt. So by turning on this first stage and turning off the remaining stage, you get the voltage across the load side, that is 46. And by turning on the stage 2 and the remaining stage turn off, you get the 2 secondary winding voltage. It means 2 times 46 across the load side. Same way, by turning on the third stage, you get the voltage across the load side 3 times 46. Say way, if you turn on the fifth stage only, then you get the voltage at the load side 230 volt. So here I want to increase the voltage in a proper sequence with the smooth variation in the load side. So first I will turn on this first stage with alpha 0. So you can see that here in the pulse generator of stage 1, positive group thyristor. Positive group thyristor means thyristor which is turned on during the positive cycle. So this stage 1, this is a positive group thyristor because it will turn on during the positive cycle. Same way, stage 2, this is a positive group thyristor. Stage 3, this one, stage 4 and stage 5. Same way, this one is a negative group thyristor because it will turn on during the negative half cycle. This thyristor for stage 2, stage 3, 4 and 5. So positive group thyristor, stage 1, pulse generator, I provide the phase delay 0. It means it will turn on at omega t equal to 0 degree. And I provide the pulse width of 10 degree. Clear? The remaining parameter as it is, amplitude 1, period is 0.02 second. Now second stage, this positive group thyristor, that will turn on at 20 degree. So I provide the phase delay of 20 degree. You can see here in the phase delay, I provide the time of 20 degree. The remaining parameter is as it is, amplitude, period and pulse width. So it means that this thyristor that will turn on at 20 degree, so that give the output voltage at the load side of both the secondary winding. It means 2 times 46. When this thyristor is on, that gives the voltage of only one secondary winding, 46. But when this thyristor will turn on, what will happen? This thyristor become turn off because of this secondary winding voltage come reversely across this thyristor. Clear? So when you turn on this thyristor, this one at 20 degree, this thyristor will become turn off. Clear? Same way, when you turn on this thyristor at this time, what will happen? This thyristor will become off. So I turn on this third stage thyristor at 40 degree. You can see that I provide the phase delay of 40 degree here. So it means that at 40 degree angle you get the output voltage 3 times 46 because you get the voltage of 3 winding. First winding, this one, first stage, second winding of second stage, and third winding of third stage. So it means at the load side you get the 3 times 46. Same way when you turn on this thyristor at next 20 degree, it means 40 plus 20 at 60 degree, you get the output voltage 4 times 46. And same one when you turn on the fifth stage at 80 degree, you get the output voltage 230 volt. Clear? So this is a smooth manner. We increase the voltage first by turning on this, increase the voltage 0 to 46 by turning on this 46 to 2 times 46 and so on. Last we get the 230 volt. Clear? Exactly reverse we can do here by using the for the negative group thyristor. As we know that negative cycle will start after 180 degree. So first stage negative group thyristor, this one gate pulse apply at 0 degree. 0 degree after 180. It means with phase delay 10 millisecond. So this is the gate pulse for first stage negative group thyristor. Now next 20 degree after the pi, we turn on this second group or second stage thyristor. So pulse generator of this second stage negative group thyristor, that is for 20 degree alpha, it means pi plus 20 degree, it means 200 degree. The remaining parameter is as it is. So you can see that in negative cycle again we by increasing the 20 degree pulse width for the remaining stages, we can increase the voltage in the negative cycle also by the same manner as we increase the voltage for the positive group thyristor. So second stage we increase the firing angle 20 degree. Same way increase the firing angle for third stage negative group thyristor next 20 degree, it means 200 plus 20. So that is 220 degree. Same way for the fourth group negative group thyristor 240 and fifth group thyristor 260. Clear? So let's check the waveform so you can clearly understand the what will happen actually at the output side or the load voltage side. So you can see here in the first scope we measured the supply voltage and the second scope we measured the output voltage across the load side. So let's run this simulation and observe the output voltage waveform. This second waveform. So now you can see that clearly the output voltage is in a very smooth manner. First we turn on this first stage, it means this one positive group, so that they give the output voltage 0 to Vs. So that follow the Vm sin omega t divided by 5. Clear? Vm sin omega t means supply voltage. This is the fifth part of this Vm sin omega t. So it is Vm sin omega t divided by 5 by turning on this thyristor. By turning on this thyristor at 20 degree, you can see that follow this 2 Vm sin omega t divided by 5. This one. Clear? Then after next 20 degree, when you turn on this thyristor, that gives the 3 Vm sin omega t divided by 5. The next 20 degree, when you turn on this thyristor, that gives a 4 Vm sin omega t divided by 5. And finally at 80 degree, when you turn on this fifth group thyristor or fifth stage thyristor, that will give the 5 Vm sin omega t divided by 5, or you can say that Vm sin omega t, or you can say that 230 RMS voltage. Clear? So 230 RMS voltage, peak is 325, you can see here. So you can increase the voltage in a very smooth manner. Clear? Same way in the negative cycle, you can see that after the pi, at angle pi, you fire this group thyristor, first stage negative group. So that follow the minus Vm sin omega t divided by 5. Then the next 20 degree, it means 200 degree, you turn on this thyristor. So that follow the minus 2 Vm sin omega t divided by 5. And so on at the last stage, at this point 260 degree, when you fire the fifth stage negative group thyristor, that follow this minus Vm sin omega t up to this angle 2 pi. Clear? So the advantage of using the multi-stage sequence AC voltage controller over the two-stage AC voltage controller is that by increasing the number of stages, we can increase the voltage at the load side in a very smooth manner with the reduction of the harmonics. You can see that here we can increase the voltage in a very smooth manner. 46, 2 times 46, 3 times 46, and up to the final voltage 231. Suppose if you're using the two-stage AC voltage controller, so you can increase the voltage from 0 to 230 in only two-stage conversion. Clear? So first you increase the voltage from 0 to 115 and then 115 to 230. So by increasing the number of stages, you can decrease the voltage variation. So by decreasing the voltage variation, we can reduce the harmonics. Clear? So this is the ultimate aim of using the multi-stage sequence control of AC voltage controller to reduce the harmonic content at the output side. So I hope all of you have understand this simulation. First we understand the two-stage AC voltage controller for R load, RL load condition, and then after we understand the concept of multi-stage sequence control of AC voltage controller by taking the example of 5-stage AC voltage controller. So here I take only 5 stages, but you can also take more number of stages so that you can accurately increase the voltage in a very smooth manner so that you can reduce the harmonic at the load side. So I hope all of you understand this topic. So if you have any doubt by watching this video, you can ask this doubt in the next lab session or next lecture. So here I stop this lab session.